Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I am so good. Oh, you look so cute.
Thank you.
So we are so excited to have you join us this month for Sep-TEEN-Ber. I have been looking forward to this interview all month, pretty much. I love your show.
Thank you so much. I'm glad that you have me. This is great.
Absolutely, my love. So let's get right into it. I have a few questions for you. So you play Maisha on The Shy.
Yes.
And I love your character. I fell in love with your character pretty much from the moment she hit the scene. Like, boom, Maisha was here, baby. So could you describe or just tell us a little bit more about your character, Maisha, and also what she means to you?
Well, with Maisha, I feel like she's kind of like my sister, but also like my best friend at the same time because I learn a lot of things from her. And as I continue to learn, I guess I give her parts of me or give her certain characteristics. So I feel like she means so much to me because I learn from her and the situations that she's put in, because sometimes I'm put in those same situations. So I just got to learn how to work it out, and she helps me. So yeah.
That is awesome. So you're able to pull and your character also inspires you. That's pretty awesome. So what was your auditioning process like for the part of Maisha?
Well, so I guess it's kind of long because I had 4 auditions total, or 3. I think I had 3 or 4. And with these auditions, I guess the first one was just a regular, it was like a self-tape kind of. And then after that, I had a callback audition with in person. That was an in-person audition. And then after that, I had an audition with the director and one of the writers for the beginning of the season. And that's kind of how everything came to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So it sounds like it was quite a process.
Yes, it was.
Well, they must have seen something special in you for them to wanted you to come back again and again and again. And obviously you really fit the role of Maisha. Like, I couldn't imagine The Shy without her. So you did a fabulous job. So I love the fact that Maisha, your character, she really knows who she is. From the gate, we understand that about her pretty much immediately. She really knows who she is as a person. Do you feel like you pull from your own personality to play her?
Yeah, I think, like I said before, I do give her some of my my characteristics. So I do have to pull from myself a lot to make her more than just words on a page. So it's kind of draining sometimes, but overall I get through it, and it's a wonderful experience. And I gain a lot of knowledge back and a lot of different characteristics that I didn't even know I was putting in there. Yeah. So I gained those back. So she's definitely a little bit more snappy than me, and I had to learn how to really get into that, because I'm not really that type of person. It all depends on what my surroundings are and what is happening. So yeah, I learned a lot from her. As much as I put into her, I probably get more back.
I can relate to that. I can absolutely relate to that. And again, The Shy is one of my favorite shows. So I've been watching it since the first season. So I've pretty much followed Maisha's development. And I would say that in the beginning, a lot of people might have viewed her character as a bully. Now, we have totally seen her transition and soften up. But she may have been perceived as a bully there for a little minute. But with that being said, she has transitioned. She has grown. What do you want people to take away from Maisha's experience?
I think overall, I want people to be able to just be themselves in whatever situation they are put in. I do feel that it is important for people to see girls, or just see figures who wouldn't normally be loved, because we don't have a lot of representation like that in TV today, or just in social media in general. It's usually always like some type of what's it called, two-faced, you know, I support but I also don't get too close type thing. So I do want people to just take away, like, she's multifaceted. She can do anything that she wants to do. She's also very smart. She has common sense. She has street smart. So it's just, I don't know. I want people to just understand that the people who look like Maisha have more to them than just what they look like. Yeah, I think that's my overall message, is just that she can do whatever she wants to do and she can still be great at it, you know what I'm saying, regardless if she looks a certain way.
I have to agree with that 100%. That's a beautiful takeaway, honestly. We should never judge a book by its cover, obviously, but that's still an issue. I mean, we still do it all the time. So I love that takeaway. It's beautiful. Maisha is highly intelligent, as a matter of fact. It's one of the things I love about her. So a lot of people, including myself, were really rooting for Maisha and Kevin to become an item in the beginning. We really wanted that to happen, but there was a transition there, and Maisha really started feeling Papa there for a little bit. Like, they're like item. They're like all up in it. So what do you think changed for Maisha? What do you think made her decide, maybe Kevin's not the one for me, but Papa, I like what he's talking about?
Well, I believe that even from day one, Maisha was a statement piece already. When she came through, even though she was a bully, it was like a point of interest from, you know, get-go, because she could have been, you know, no more than like a two-liner and then just walked away, but the energy was a little bit different. And so you know, it'd make you think, like, who is this? That's already like that. And when she started, you know, messing with Kevin, even before Kevin started liking her back, it was more of a I guess some type of bond that was happening anyway. And I don't think it was a positive bond that happened at first, but it was still something that happened. There was a correspondence between the two, whether she was chasing him or pinning him against walls or licking faces or whatever.
Right.
That was a connection that already happened. And I guess over time, as the seasons went on, it started to get a little bit stronger, and the energy was just flowing from both sides.
Right.
So it kind of changed into something deeper than that. They became like friends. They became kind of closer than friends, up until a certain point where Kevin ended up trying to do Maisha dirty with Andrea in the first season. And then I think after that, Maisha was she was hurt again. The first time she was hurt, she kind of like let it go. That's what I was getting to. Yeah, she kind of like let it go at first. She kind of just was like, okay, I'm gonna let this slide one time because I understand that was your whole goal, whatever. The second time, the bond, like I said, the bond started getting stronger. Kevin started bringing her her homework every day. He started coming over to the house and was like trying to see how she lived and things like that. That energy was there, but it got to a point it wasn't there to where he was bold enough to speak on that in front of his friends, and so I guess that kind of got the best of Kevin, and Kevin ended up hurting Maisha. And so that kind of broke the entire relationship. It didn't break Maisha because she's still, I feel like that whole thing is a very boss move. Like, if somebody has hurt you and you have enough audacity to still show up at their house and then get their friend to kiss you on the first time of you meeting them, that is a whole different level of savage. And I was
that's
like,
a whole nother level.
Yes,
that's
I appreciate this. I feel like that's a bold. So I think the energy, I guess what happened was Kevin wasn't faithful to Maisha. And Maisha was definitely, she was faithful. She wasn't messing with Papa. It was always I guess some type of friction between Maisha and Papa. And as we all know, opposites attract. But in that beginning, it was nothing was happening. But as soon as that happened, she was like, okay, now I need to find somebody that cares about me enough to really, you know what I'm saying, like, match my energy. Because Kevin wasn't matching it. He was just a different energy. And Maisha and Papa, a lot of people say they're kind of like Pam and Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
And
see
so you know how
that.
in one episode Pam or Martin was having dreams about Pam, and
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of like that weird relationship space. I think that's kind of what the Papa and Maisha thing was, and it was like, okay, let's explore this. So
Yeah.
that became a whole different type of relationship.
Wow, that is very insightful. That is very, very insightful. But I love what you said about how she went from his energy. She likes his energy, but it just still wasn't the energy that she needed. It didn't match hers. And
Right.
that's very insightful. You can have great energy all day, but if it doesn't match mine, then we're not very compatible. And that's the whole, basis of a relationship, even a
Yeah.
friendship. Even a
Yeah.
friendship. So you're right on point, girl. So tell us, what has been your favorite scene or your favorite moment that you've been a part of as far as being in the Shy so far?
Man.
And I'm sure there are many.
There are so many, and I'm trying to just go through them and pick one. But I think my favorite scene. Okay, I'm gonna just give you the first one. The first favorite scene I had was just when I had to walk in the gym room with the dress and everything, with the pink dress, and she was throwing glitter everywhere.
Oh,
That was my favorite scene, just because she was the center of attention. Period. And I had just come from Maisha's house, and so Maisha's house was like, it was small, but how she lived was how most girls live, or friends that I know, they live. And so I was going through a little issue with that in my heart, because I had felt some type of way, because I'm like, dang, I know people who live like this.
yeah.
And I couldn't wear, I guess, the hair that they had for me at the first, so I had to wear my natural hair, and they had to take it out of the braids and stuff and everything. So I was wearing my natural hair, and my natural hair was very messed up at that time. And I was going through so much. I was trying not to cry through these scenes, because I didn't want the world to see me like this. I had bigger self confidence issues than I do now, but they were huge. And so trying to work through that was tough. But I feel like that scene where she had to walk through and she was just being herself, all the hair, it was the makeup, it was just amazing. That was kind of like her redemption, and I'm finally understanding that that's how my friends feel when they finally do, like when they get their hair done, or when picture day comes up, or when they just have the opportunity to. And so I was like, okay, I like this scene because I get a better understanding of what some people I know are going through, as well as I just get to feel pretty. You know what I'm saying? And that was kind of when Papa started checking her out anyway. So I like that too. It was very like, okay, the continuity was dead on like that. I liked it.
Yeah. That is actually one of my favorite scenes as well. And you know what? That actually brings me to one of my next questions, because you just briefly talked about just not having the best self-esteem, struggling with self-confidence, which is something that we all struggle with, no matter what age you are. We still struggle with it. But I like the fact that you still pushed through each scene. You held your head up and you made it through. So what does it feel like to be a form of representation to those young Black girls who look like you? You mentioned that earlier, who look like you, who are identifying with you, and who want to see more girls who look like themselves, who look like you on TV. What does that feel like to be a representation of all of those things?
Man, it is like the most humbling feeling that I can ever say that I've experienced, because having to understand that there are other people looking at me. And it's not just the people that I give power to. It's not just the people that I was bullied by. It's not the people who constantly talk about me on a daily basis, just about me being big. It's people who really need to learn how to survive. And these people are looking for something to make them feel like they belong here, or make them feel like they have a voice, and so just being that is crazy, because I now have to realize, like, whatever I say or whatever these lines are given to me, whatever inflection I put in my voice matters. It matters how I say it. It matters how long I say it. And everything matters now. I can't just go outside, or I can't just show up on set any kind of way I want to. I have to show up with the mindset of, these people are looking at me. These people want something. I am teaching a bunch of young girls how to be able to get hurt by this one dude who simply just doesn't want to accept the fact that he was messing with somebody that was frowned upon, and then turn around and go to their best friend and then swing that around and be like, so now look, now where are we?
Better say that.
You know, and now everybody, like, and even in season 3, in the episode 1 of season 3, Papa was talking about how he was like, okay, something about quality time. And Kevin was like, don't treat her like any other girl. She's special. I'm teaching young girls how to still have that influence on the same person that they got hurt by. I'm teaching these young women. I'm teaching these young women how to have confidence even when I don't have any myself. I'm teaching myself and these other girls how to speak up for themselves without even saying anything. So having that feeling and being the representation for that is crazy. And it is just humbling, because sometimes I feel like I'm on this pedestal and I am like high, but, you know, like low at the same time. And so now I'm realizing that, oh no, I matter.
Sure do.
Yeah, I am here, but the reason why I'm here is to teach y'all. It's not about me. It's not about me and how I feel. It's about everybody that I'm talking to. It's about all the followers that really like listen and are here to be around. So, that's long-winded, but yeah.
No, that is incredible. Are you kidding me? Like I said, you just taught me something. I'm grown and I'm sitting here. Honestly, you know, I'm receiving every word of what you're saying, and that just goes to show the influence that you do have just by standing in your truth, just by being you. Everything that you just said personally hit home. Like, you were preaching, and I'm seeing the comments just going crazy. Like, yes, period. I mean, that was incredible. Please do not stop doing what you're doing, because we need you. We need more of that. We need so much more of that. Yeah, absolutely. Gosh, so I'm still kind of trying to come down, girl. You almost made me catch the Holy Spirit. Trying to come down. Okay, so I know your mother also had a theatrical background. Has she helped you or helped mold you into the actress that you've become today?
Definitely. A little story about my mom is that she, when she started acting, I guess I was just right around the time where I came, or she was acting before that. But right around the time that I came, stuff was starting to really move. I think right around like 1 through 5, my years 1 through 5, she did The Lion King, the National Broadway tour. And so she was always on the road, and she was acting, and she was just being her. And I would tag along with her for maybe, about 5 years, and then I would just learn from her. She used to do, I guess, Black Ensemble Theater, and even then I was in there. I was singing songs while they were doing dress rehearsals. I was in the green room. I started learning what a lav mic was. I was just falling in love with theater and the whole acting world in general. But when we got to the road, or when we got to the Broadway tour, that's when I really started finding an interest in it, because it was on a grand scale now. Yeah. It was so many. It was like the crowd was bigger, the stage was larger. Everybody had to project. When they would do dress rehearsals, I would sit in the crowd, giving notes, taking notes, just absorbing everything. Because at first I wanted to be a director. I was like, so y'all need to learn how to do this. Y'all need to learn how to do that. This wasn't the same. That was me. I was always just there. And so I think right after I got off the road, because she still had to go. When I got off the road, I was in school, but I still loved acting, and I was still trying to do stuff. And I think right around that time, I had also gotten an agent. And so I was getting some auditions, And I was like, okay, you know, like I'm starting auditioning for stuff. I'm like, oh, I actually have to act now. That was
Yeah.
kind of where I started pulling everything I had learned from her, how to project, how to slate, how to say my name correctly, how to know when to end a scene, how to, you know, cut somebody off successfully without making it seem like a long pause. That was very big for me. But all of that. So she taught me everything that I like, all the basics that I needed to know for acting.
Well, shout out to Mama.
Yes.
Because Mama got you right. Because you are on the side, and again, you are probably one of our favorite characters. So you and Mama are a team, honey. So a little birdie told us, okay, that you will be in the new Candyman film.
I love, yes.
So could you maybe tell us a little bit more about your role?
So this role is kind of like, it's more personal to me because I play a big sister, and I am already a big sister, but now I'm a big sister again. And so I have to like really kind of take care of this, like help take care of this child, and it gets on my nerves. And so like I am reaching new levels of anxiety. I've never had worry lines before, but I feel like I'm getting them like right here. So the whole relationship of being a big sister, or the whole, I guess, idea of being a big sister, it's like now I get to play that. And I guess every part that I'm doing is kind of bouncing back to me, because I used to get bullied. Now I used to play a bully. I am a big sister now, so now I'm playing another big sister. And with this big sister, she is the same as me. You know, her little brother is just something else, you know, and she's like, leave me alone. And I'm like, yes, me and her. Yes, I understand you and why you act the way you act. But yeah, she's a big sister. She's very protective. As you know, the Candyman scene, it takes place in the projects, takes place in Cabrini Green. So having to just deal with that by itself, as my dad would tell me, because he used to live there, it was just like you had a certain type of demeanor about you. And so having to grow up being very protective of your siblings, very protective of your surroundings, you got to have some type of toughness. So yeah, that's really all I can say, is just that she's a big sister. She is tough, but she loves very, very hard.
Well, we are absolutely looking forward to this. I mean, obviously Candyman is a cult classic, so you are now part of this legendary film, this iconic movie. So congratulations to you, because this is going to go down in history.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yes. So are there any actors or actresses that inspire you or that you would love to work with one day?
Man, I want to work with definitely want to work with Denzel. I wanted to work with Denzel. Yeah, because come on now, he's wrong. I wanted to work with Chadwick Boseman at some point in life, but so that happened. I also want to have the chance to work with Kristen Bell, who plays right now, or she used to play Eleanor Shellstrop on The Good Place, and I think she's so cool simply just because it takes a certain level of acting to lose yourself in a film. And that's something that I want to do really bad, because in most of my parts, I'm putting a lot of myself into it. I want to be able to take myself out of the equation and just play a character. I want to like master that skill of walking into a room and being like, okay, this is my character now. This is not me. I'm taking a backseat. I can play whatever I can play at this point, and I'm just going to let it happen. I think I said it in another interview with somebody that I want to be able to watch a movie. I want to be able to watch the full movie and not know that I'm in it. I want the only thing to remind me that I'm in it is my name in the credits or in the beginning. That's all, like, or probably like my face on the cover of it.
Yeah.
That's cool too. Y'all can give me that if you want to.
Absolutely.
But that would be the only thing that reminds me that I'm in it. I am not, I wouldn't put myself in that. And I feel like she does it so well. So just trying to learn from her and figuring out how to do that would be amazing. So.
That is awesome. I'm actually a fan of hers as well. Yeah, so you have good taste, especially Denzel. I mean, who wouldn't want to love to work with Denzel?
Man, and then that's just a loaded, like, person. I can talk about that for hours. Him and Mahershala Ali, just amazing people. Oh my
gosh, that's another amazing one. Hopefully you will get to work with these amazing legends one day. I can see that in your future. You're headed places. You're a star.
Thank you.
And I've seen that in the comments repeatedly, so they're backing me up on that. So what do you do with your downtime during quarantine? Because I know we have a lot of downtime now. So how do you keep yourself entertained and busy?
With my downtime, I make music. I also plan. I like to plan to go do things. Recently we took a couple of quarantine safe trips. My family and I, so we do that because we do like to spend a lot of time together. Yeah, and I just like to plan and see what else I can do and learn more about myself when I'm not playing multiple people or when I'm not going out into the world and trying to be somebody. I just want to learn more about who I am. So yeah, that's kind of what I do.
That's beautiful. Being able to take advantage of this time and learn more about yourself, that's something we all should be doing. So
yes,
that is a very beautiful thing. So we are winding down to just our last couple of questions for you, but I have a really fun little game that we would love to play with you. Plus, we have one more bonus question for you.
Okay.
So for our little game that we have for you, we just want to find out Genesis 5 faves. So we have 5 questions, and we just want to know what are your 5 faves. So first question, what is your favorite song?
Ouch. My favorite song? Do I have a favorite song?
That's a hard one, especially if you love music.
I don't have a favorite song, but I have a favorite artist. Does that count?
That counts. Yeah.
Okay, so it's definitely between Giveon and Brent Faiyaz. I think I'm gonna say Brent Faiyaz for right now, but most of Brent Faiyaz's songs slap, and they speak to me in a certain way that I'm like, yeah, I need to listen to this. So that would probably be my favorite artist because I don't have a favorite song.
Okay, no, I can respect that. I'm here for that, as a matter of fact. Do you have a favorite food?
Ooh, tacos.
That's my favorite food too.
Period. Tacos slap also.
Tacos slap so hard. That's my
makes no sense. I'm I think that would be my only thing in a relationship. If I had to list requirements, Maisha did, I'd be like, can you make tacos? If you can't, it's been nice working with you, my friend. But
I'm saying tacos are mad easy. If you can't ground no beef, then I don't know what we're doing here in a relationship.
And you gotta know how to differentiate between a flour and a corn tortilla. We're not doing corn today.
We're not doing that. Okay, get out.
You gotta learn how to do it. Jesus. But anyways, yeah.
Okay, Genesis. So what is your favorite show? Besides The Shy, favorite show?
My favorite show is definitely The Good Place. I watched all 4 seasons, maybe 4 times, and I cried every single time. That is and I never cry. I'm a G. When it comes to movies, podcasts, seasons, I never cry. But this one, I was like, okay, yeah, it just happened. So that's my favorite show. I love that.
I love that show. You have great taste. I'm loving your faves right now. I feel like we're here with it. Okay. All right. So we actually hit on this a little bit earlier, so I think I have an idea of who you're gonna say. But favorite actor?
My favorite actor? Right. I don't have a favorite actor. They're all 3. So I'm just trying to, I love them all equally, but
top 3.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, Mahershala Ali.
There you go. I was going to say, I was going to throw out Denzel again. I was going to throw out Mahershala for you again.
No, Mahershala's my favorite. I've been riding with Mahershala for so long, like even longer than Denzel and Kristen. Jesus Christ.
Christian, yes. All right. So let's go with Mahershala. And then lastly, let's just find out what your favorite movie is. Now that one might be tricky too. Favorite movie.
My favorite movie? Yikes. What's my favorite movie? Do I have a favorite movie?
That's a one.
I had it. It was there.
Do you have a favorite genre?
Yeah. Oh, no. My favorite movie is The Lorax because it teaches so many lessons. And, like, that movie, when you watch it, like, as a kid, I used to watch it, and I used to be like, oh, this is a cool movie. I like all the cinematography and the colors and everything. But when I got older, I started listening, and I was like, oh, okay, so they're, like, actually teaching lessons. And I was like, okay, yeah, I like that movie. That's my favorite movie.
That was a good movie. It's all about the environment. You got to listen. That movie was very woke. Like, if you pay attention, it's very, it's good.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. So I think we just learned a bit more about you. I now know what your top 5 faves are. And like I said, we have a lot in common. I feel like we are kindred spirits right now.
Yes.
So remember I told you I had one more bonus question. And this is probably by far my favorite question to ask. So right now, we've been seeing a trend on Instagram, social media altogether, where people are giving each other their flowers now while we're still here, as opposed to after you're gone and you can't say what you wanted to say. So is there a soul person in mind that you could think of that you would give their flowers to today if you could?
Man, if I could give my flowers to somebody right now, I feel like, okay, so I work with this beautiful person. Her name is Judea, and she plays Gemma on the show. She has been through a lot of things, and to be where she is and doing what she's doing, I feel like she doesn't have enough recognition for what she is as a person. I would give her all of her flowers now because the way, like, just seeing her journey and learning with her, she's like my big sister, and I wanted a big sister for a really long time, and like now that I have her, her and Burgundy Baker are just her, Burgundy, and Hannah. Jesus, all of my big sisters, but Judy, I would definitely give her flowers right now because she just deserves them now before I can't say them.
That's beautiful, and I'm very familiar with her and her character. And I also follow her on Instagram, and if you don't know her story, I would suggest just following her page, getting familiar with her. I think it's her story to share, but she has been through a lot. She has been on a tremendous journey. So to see where she has come from, to see where she is, you are so right. She deserves all the flowers. That is beautiful. Well, Genesis, that pretty much wraps up our time together, girlfriends.
Well, okay. Thank you so much for having me. This is so much fun. I've
had a blast. I've seen that you've had quite a few questions. I think we maybe have time for maybe 1 or 2 before we head off. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's okay. I'm cool.
All right, you guys. So I've seen you guys asking throughout the conversation if you could ask questions. If you have a question, try to get it in before we head off. I'm going to scroll through and see what we can find because I did see a few that came up during the chat. If you have any questions, just throw them out there. I saw someone ask, how old are you? You're so pretty. You are gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you. I am 15. I like to switch around and say 51 because I feel like I've been around the sun a couple times, but I am 15. So
15 years old. That answers your question. So I'm not seeing you guys getting these questions in here. Oh, what does your shirt say? Oh, my shirt. Oh, it actually says Black Cinema Now, which is where you're tuned into. So make sure you're following if you're not already. I'd appreciate it. All right, you guys. So this has been so real. And Genesis, we've had a blast with you. I hope we can have you come back.
Yes, absolutely.
Congratulations on a new season or
Thank
upcoming
you.
season. And you guys make sure that you are following Genesis, follow The Shy on Instagram, and make sure you're following Black Cinema Now, because we have Sep-TEEN-Ber interviews coming at you guys all month long. So stay tuned. Thank you again, beautiful. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Have a good night. Bye.